and welcome. You are watching Farming Entrepreneurs TV. I am Tamara Robertson, and today is our very first recording of our YouTube channel and podcast. So who better to have than Govenor Gianforte? Governor, welcome. Thank you.
Good to be with you.
Yes, thank you for being here. So the podcast is really about business, entrepreneurship, women in agriculture, business, all of that. So we just have a few questions for you today. Of course, with the first one, I wrote them down. So here we go. Again, my goal in life is sustainability for our ranch, and not only our ranch, but for other people in rural and agricultural businesses. So my question to you is, as a successful businessman and entrepreneur yourself, what do you feel is the number one best way for rural and ag businesses to create leverage for themselves?
Well, I think it's really important. First, thanks for having me out to your farm.
You.
It's great to be here, and thank you for the beautiful flowers.
Oh, you're welcome.
They're terrific. So I think it's really important for entrepreneurs, no matter what industry, especially ag though, is to innovate and to try new things. It's really critical. To create a business, you really have to get as close to your customer as you can and understand how you create value. And I think that's true whether you're an architect or a farmer or a cattle rancher. And I see some really innovative things as I travel the state. And ag, of course, is our number one industry here, and it's great to see the innovation you're implementing here.
Yeah, well, thank you. I agree. I think innovation is great, and that's kind of what we did here on the ranch, is just look at what we're doing and kind of restructure some. Our number one is agriculture. Our number two is tourism. So
maybe we should combine them.
Yes. So as part of the Agritourism Fellowship Program, I love the idea of value-added agriculture with the aspect of tourism. So my question is, what do you envision Montana's agritourism industry to be, and what do you want to see from agritourism?
Well, I think that the heart of any industry is really the entrepreneur. So it's only bounded by the creativity of the entrepreneur. And you're right. I mean, the Montana brand right now globally is red hot. People want to experience Montana.
Right.
That's bringing people here. To your point, let's combine agriculture and tourism to give them a taste of what it really means to live and experience Montana. And the sort of things you're doing with Wandering Acres, having people come out here and making their own flower bouquets and sampling the food, it's really important. It started back in the days with dude ranches.
Yes.
Because everybody loves cowboys.
Right.
And they deep down, they want to be one.
Yes.
And so why not make that happen for them?
Yeah.
So this isn't just another form of value-added ag. That's been the number one priority for us at the Department of Agriculture since I've come in to the state. That can include adding value to our commodities before we ship them out of state, whether it's turning grain into pasta or beef into jerky or steaks. Right. But it could also be taking the tremendous commodities that we produce and add a personal experience to it. And that's really agritourism.
Right. Absolutely love it and absolutely agree. We're very excited to add that portion to our ranch as well. So I'm happy to be able to visit with you about it. My next question on the idea of agritourism, there are 4 A's to agritourism: attraction, access, accommodations, and advertising. So my question would be, where should someone go for help finding funding if they wanted to add one of those 4 A's of agritourism to their operation?
Well, we do have a number of programs at the Department of Commerce and also at the Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
But ultimately, it's up to the entrepreneur to figure this out. So one of the things we've done in this part of the state was through our Lower Yellowstone Task Force, we've looked at how can we enhance recreational opportunities on the Lower Yellowstone River to to bring more people into the community.
Right.
But I would encourage people that are thinking about trying this, if they have a extra camper, maybe like this one here.
Right.
You know, that's part of the Montana experience for some people. Maybe it should be an Airbnb.
Right. Maybe.
You know, maybe there's an old canoe behind the barn. You could stick it in the river, and it could be part of the experience.
Right.
And so you've got to create something that people want. And if it works, do it some more. And if it doesn't, try something else.
Try something new. Yes, I'm absolutely an advocate for failing forward. If you need to start something and it doesn't work out for you, don't be discouraged and just continue on as a learning experience. Use it as a learning experience.
Winston Churchill said, successful people go from failure to failure with undiminished enthusiasm.
Yes. And I think that's very appropriate for people in agriculture. Especially with the way that agriculture is so, I guess you can't determine it, you know, it is just up in the air every year. And I feel like people in agriculture are true entrepreneurs and have to be. And I absolutely love that saying.
But in every industry, whether it's technology or agriculture or ranching, if you don't reinvent yourself, somebody else will.
Yeah.
So it's always important that we go back to innovation.
Innovation. Okay, so my last question to you. My son is at camp and he wishes he was here with us today, but his question to you was, of all of the laws that you have put through, or bills for Montana, which bill do you feel has been the most impactful for our state?
Well, we really had a good session this year. We came in with a surplus. We did 4 things. We gave $1 billion back to the people of Montana, both in rebates and permanent tax reductions. For farm and ranch, moving the business equipment tax exemption up to $1 million really is going to make a big difference.
Yes.
We fixed what was broken: the state prison, mental health, roads and bridges for the counties and the state. We saved for a rainy day, because that's what a Montana family would do. And we paid off all the state debt. So I'm proud of all that. But the one that was kind of the most fun, I had a 4th grade class decide they wanted to pass a bill.
Oh.
And their legislator said, well, you just write the bill and I'll introduce it. And they did.
Wow.
And that 4th grade came to the Capitol and testified in favor of that bill, and in front of the House, and it passed. And then the 5th grade class from that school came in and testified in front of the Senate, and it passed. And it came to my desk, and I went to their school, and the 4th graders pitched me on why I should sign the bill.
Oh.
And in the end, I chose to sign it.
Did you?
And now, officially, the huckleberry is the Montana state fruit.
Oh, that is amazing. Well, they are some very determined 4th graders and 5th graders, and I appreciate them and their work. So I think they're right. The huckleberry.
It was a big debate. Is it the flathead cherry or is it the huckleberry?
Oh, right. And it's the huckleberry.
Yeah,
it's official.
The huckleberry won out.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So anyway, well, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it. I absolutely love what you're doing with your tour, your governor's tour around the state, and what you've been doing for the people of Montana. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
All right.